In the last few weeks, I went out approaching girls in 3 different cities, which is Athens, New York, and Zurich. Shortly after I came back to my base, to my home, which is Dubai, I realized that I don't want to approach girls anymore. I will tell you what happened in a minute, so keep watching. First, I'm gonna tell you about my background and what happened and what made me start working on my confidence. Then I will tell you the story how I went out in Athens, New York, and Zurich in the last few weeks. And in the end, I will share with you my thoughts and a takeaway for you. I used to be a nice guy. I used to be dumped after 2-3 months of dating a girl. I used to be exact representation of everything you think of when you hear a word nice guy. And then I decided that I needed change. I needed to work on my confidence and I needed to become good with girls. I've done a lot of work. I went through a heartbreak, I healed, I leveled up my life. I went out on multiple dates. I slept with a lot of girls. I dated a lot of girls as well. But along the way, my values have been changing. I used to believe that if I can talk to any girl at any place, at any time, that was the ultimate representation of confidence. And if I could do it again and again and again, that would mean that I am confident. I also used to believe that sleeping with the girl on the first date is the ultimate representation of confidence and the top level of the game. I just thought that if I sleep with a girl on the first date, my game is on point, I'm the coolest, I'm the hottest, I just got it. And I got good at it. I got what I wanted. I confirmed again and again that I do have a confidence, that I can do dates and I can sleep on the first date. And I did it multiple times. And at some point, it just simply stopped serving me. It didn't satisfy me. It didn't satisfy my needs. Although in my mind, I really thought that that was freaking cool to talk about with boys, to share with someone like, oh, look at this, I'm so cool. I'm so cool, I did this girl, I slept with that girl, it took me only one date, I can approach any girl. It just stopped being so important to me. It just lost its importance to me lately. And recently, after a few months of taking a break, working on myself, I haven't been out for so long. I started to put myself out there and to see if I still got the confidence. This is how this story starts. I travel a lot, and a few weeks ago, I went to Athens. It was a short trip to Athens and New York, and back to Athens and back to my home base. I went out in Athens with a few of my acquaintances, my buddies. I truly love Athens. There's something about Greece, something about the vibe I really love and I relate a lot. I truly enjoy walking around there. So we were walking around with my boys. We went through the city. It was a daytime. We were just getting in the mood, preparing for the evening. We went all the way up to Acropolis, and on the way there, we saw a cute girl. We talked about her. We didn't approach her. We kept going, got some drinks, and went to this beautiful spot to watch a sunset. You can see the entire Athens from that spot. If you've been there, you know which spot I'm talking about. And I have noticed the same girl that we saw earlier, sitting by herself, enjoying the sunset with the juice. I didn't think twice. I went up to her and talked, and 1 hour later, we were still there enjoying the sunset. We were vibing, talking stuff, getting to know each other, sharing a cigarette, taking selfies, watching sunset. I really enjoyed that vibe. I enjoyed the vibe of that girl. My friends by that time already left down there into the city to get dinner. So this girl had to go as well. But she walked me all the way to the restaurant where my friends were. We exchanged WhatsApp, Instagram, and I invited her for another date after the day after tomorrow because I was coming back to Athens. I told her that I'm a visitor and I don't live here, but she still agreed to go out on a date. She liked me, I liked her, the vibe was good, so I was confident. Later on in Athens, we went out with a group of friends. After having dinner to another club, we danced there. I approached a few girls here and there. I made a lot of eye contacts. I chose the best girls, tried my confidence. I felt really good vibe. Girls were not that of my type in that specific club, in that venue. I was still alright, I enjoyed my time. The next day we flew all the way to New York and I went out with one of my friends to see how was the vibe in New York. We were in a couple of bars. It was kind of hard to find the bar because there were so many. It was kind of hard to find the bar that's like my vibe. We eventually find it. The people were cool. The bar was quite big. It was buzzing. And I approached a few girls here and there. They were not exactly what I was looking for. But my friend, he enjoyed his time. He was approaching whatever. He was specifically targeting girls for that night to have fun. And that made me realize that I am not the same mindset. At that night, I started thinking that the thoughts started creeping into my mind that maybe I'm not really actually interested in hookups or one-night stands anymore. Maybe it's actually not that I want. And that just appeared in my mind at that evening. Later on, my friend left with a girl. I didn't find anyone. I chatted with many girls. They were alright, but I just didn't get the vibe. The environment was different from Europe. The environment was different from Dubai, where I live in. So I kind of left home. I was super tired. I texted the girl from Athens because I was coming back later on. And as we flew back to Athens, I found out that that girl hasn't responded. This thing hits me hard every single time. This ghosting culture is just very confusing. As we were vibing and all that stuff and we agreed on a date. Anyway, as I thought about it further, I realized that that type of a girl that I actually look for, they're nice and they are more of a higher value. They don't go out. They might go out in bars and clubs, but I'm just having a hard time describing it. But those girls are not for hookup. Those girls that I'm looking for, they're for something more meaningful. And they won't allow a hookup thing. Maybe once in a blue moon, but that is like 1% out of 100. That made me think that I was out of environment in Athens and I told her that I'm a visitor. And that might have scared her off, that I obviously wanted to go on a date with her. It's gonna definitely lead to a bedroom and to one night stand, probably. And it's very easier just to ghost people without any explanation. So I just let it slide, forgot about it, moved on. We went out in Athens, we had a great time. We went for amazing dinner by the sea, watched the sunset, and then we went to this beautiful lounge suggested by a taxi driver. I really love that place. I think it was called Baltazar. The people were there. They were just classy. They were fun. They were fine. It reminded me a little bit of Dubai, but a bit of a low key posh, like not in your face. Drinks were quite cheap. The vibe was good. The people were good. But I was just so exhausted after all this flying and talking to people. And after I started to realize some of those thoughts that I don't really look for one night stand, and then in that bar I just started to confront that thought that, look, all these beautiful girls, I want to talk to them, I want to exchange Instagrams, but I'm just a visitor. I'm not going to be here for a long time, and I'm not probably coming back soon. So why would I waste my energy going and approaching them just to confirm my confidence, just to prove that I got it? just to exercise confidence. Like, I got it. I know it. I don't need to confirm it anymore. And it's not like I'm building a muscle of confidence. It's just, it has to serve a purpose in the end of the day. With that thought, I came back to Dubai, and after a week or so, I traveled to Zurich, and I happened to be with one of my acquaintances there with my buddy, my new buddy. We went out in Zurich, and I didn't want to go around approaching girls. I didn't have that in mind, but we met accidentally, and we're like, all right, let's just have fun. Let's just enjoy and see what kind of girls are in Zurich. It reminded me a little bit of a Dubai vibe, but it's also very luxury and very like a lot of Slavic girls with that, a lot of big lips, a lot of luxury bags and cars. But it's more of a low-key vibe. European city, you still can walk around and have your drink, talk to anybody. So we approached a few girls that my friend liked just to warm up. I didn't enjoy the conversation. But it was fun. It was fine. Then we were walking around the city, and then I saw a few cute girls that I actually liked. We approached them. They were Italians. One of them was actually really hot. We exchanged Instagram, but they were not really interested. And in the end, I found out from Instagram that they were in a relationship. That one of the girls were like a Miss Italia or something, whatever. So they were actually a higher value, like top girls. That for them, that approach on the street, it seemed like repelling. It seemed something out of place. And that started to confirm my thought that maybe it's just not the right environment there. Maybe it's just not the right approach. And I felt like I lowered my value. Running around those streets, chasing girls, approaching girls, like doing a day game, basically. I was fully dressed up, on my accessories, on my jewelry, looking great, nice outfit, walking around the streets, approaching girls, wasting my energy. That thought grew in me, and it became bigger, and it became clearer. As I was walking around and approaching girls with another friend of mine, he was also going for whatever. He was going to have fun that night. He said, I don't care about the looks. I don't care. I just need to have fun tonight. That made me realize even more. That made my thought even stronger that I am past that stage. I used to be like that. It used to be fun for me. I still think approaching is fun. It's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of overcoming. It's a big reward if you do it successfully. But at this point, I stopped seeing the outcome and stopped seeing the development of the story. And that brings me to a conclusion that men have different phases and different stages in life. And probably the stage that I had has come to an end, and it's time for me to make a transition. It's time to me to transform and grow into something different. As I used to believe that approaching girls is the ultimate representation of confidence. If you can do it anytime, any place, you're just a superhero. I used to believe that sleeping with the girls on the first date is the ultimate confidence, is the ultimate goal of all of these games. And it stopped serving me. It just fell off my values list. Naturally, it just doesn't excite me. It just doesn't make sense for me. And it's something new. When some new thoughts are coming in, that the new values are growing, it feels a little bit confusing and a little bit like different. So I'm still playing with this thought and how I'm gonna take it and where I'm gonna take it. But I confirmed to myself, not even once, 2 or 3 times during those nights out or days out in those different cities, meeting different girls with the different bodies of mine, that is not what I want. And it's time for me to align myself to my new values and act accordingly. It's time for me to take my energy back in, focus on me, on building something meaningful for myself, growing myself in a way that I can attract, not chase, women that I actually have in mind, that I actually want. Because I do strongly believe that streets cold approaching, it's not it. It stopped working for me. It stopped serving me. I don't see it that way. Hope you had some realizations along the way. And if you relate to anything of what I said and you think likewise, hit that like button. And if you had similar realizations, just let me know in the comments. Let's have a little chat below. I would love to hear what you think about it. How's your journey going? And as always, I believe in you. And I talk more in one of my favorite videos about attraction and how to become more attractive so you can attract girls that you actually want in this video. So you might want to check it out. And I will see you in the next one.